Well, hello and welcome back to Marvel Live here at New York Comic Con 2016. I'm Ben Morse.
I'm Lorraine Sinker. We're here with the team from Stan vs. Evil. Welcome, guys.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
We're terrific.
We are terrific.
Excellent.
Never been better.
I'm Dana Gould.
I'm Janet Varney.
I'm Johnny C. McGinley.
Oh, you guys, the show looks awesome. It looks amazing. How did it come into being?
It's basically, for those of you unfamiliar, Stan Against Evil is a sitcom that is wrapped in a horror movie. I was a writer on The Simpsons for a long time, but I'm a big horror movie fan, so I wanted to write a horror show and then put a comedy show inside of it. And people just kept forgetting to screw me over and kill it. Now it's on television.
So it's like a turducken horror comedy.
That's exactly right. That is
Just in time.
That is exactly right.
Thanksgiving
Springtime
and Halloween.
It's so nice to hear turducken used not only properly but in a non-sexual way.
That's what I bring to the world.
I like to think of nothing. Go ahead, Janet.
Perfect.
Pull me out of this.
I remember when I was going to say I'm a big Dana Gould fan before you said all of those things.
Exactly.
So you guys have an interesting relationship in the show. Can you talk a little bit about it?
Sure. When we meet me, I've just lost my wife of 30 years and my job of 27 years, and I'm replaced by Janet's character. So I'm the sheriff of a small New England town up New Hampshire that's haunted by 172 witches and monsters, and they're out to kill every sheriff that's ever been there. And so my wife, unbeknownst to me, has been out protecting me for the last 27 years. She dies, and I got a target on my back, except for I'm not the sheriff anymore. Janet comes in and replaces me.
So I got to come in and deal with a guy who is more weirded out by being replaced by a woman than he is by being chased by demons.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stan is based on
I see where the
topical.
comedy comes in.
Exactly. Yeah. It's Stan is based on my dad, who I've described as Archie Bunker without all of the elegance and sophistication.
Excellent.
For the rest of our answers, I like to try to use the word turducken in every one of them. So if you could tailor your questions to that, that would be great.
Yeah.
Is there any food that this show would remind you of?
Quite interesting.
That's funny. It's funny. Funny you would say that.
What got you into the horror genre in particular?
Me, I grew up loving horror
Nerdiness.
movies. Yeah, nerdiness to me was, I don't think you can relate to this. No, I grew up loving, to me it was my sports. It was horror movies were my football. And I grew up on the same thing that everybody else here grew up on. And I think in terms of Stand Against Evil, I think it has two cousins in television. I think it's a cousin of The Walking Dead, and it's a cousin of Ash versus Evil Dead. I think each show is similar to the other one in different respects. I think if you like one of them, you like the other one.
Now, for you guys, obviously doing a comedy and a horror simultaneously, it's got to be a little, spinning your head around in a circle like The Exorcist. But how do you switch from one mode to the next?
We don't?
Context?
We don't.
So it's all one. You just maintain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it turns out also that comedy plus horror equals action. So let's not forget that key
Yeah.
important part where you are running around hitting things and being hit.
And the way
Absolutely.
that chickens plus turkeys equal turducken.
Oh.
Come on!
You did
Well
not.
played,
Do it.
sir. Well
Do it.
played. So I bring the turkey to the turducken. Johnny C brings the duck,
The ducking.
and I guess you bring the chicken.
Exactly. Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't
I
realize
bring
that
the,
the N is
I bring the chicken is also the name of
Yeah.
my new book of poetry.
Wait,
no,
did we
well,
just blow your mind that the N at the end is
I
chicken?
thought it was turduck, and then the N
No.
was just for fun. I didn't realize
No.
it was for
Yeah.
chicken.
No, it's pretty much.
Oh, it's a apostrophe N. Like we're just
Yeah.
turducking around.
Exactly.
Okay, I got it.
We're
For
here
many
for
people,
you.
a turducken
Yeah,
is.
that's
Come
right.
Here, I'll give you a hug.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here you go. No charge.
Hang
for
on a
your
minute.
size.
I should grab that.
Yeah. I'm doing an interview. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Love you too, Mom. Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
pretty obsessed with the tone to your question, and it not dissimilar in tone to what Landis did with
American Werewolf.
American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
So in other words, when Stan was doing those masks, they were about as frightening a thing in practical effects that had come along in forever. But then when they were out in the moors, it was funny because they were fish out of water. And so we wanted to mimic the tone of that piece.
Yeah. The horror is played straight as a heart attack, and the people behave the way people normally would behave, which is when you see a monster, you don't scream, you go, "What in the name of Christ is that?" Which is what you would do in real life, and they both heighten each other, and that's how it works. They didn't have to play it funny because they would just behave normally in that heightened reality, and it works.
No, you mentioned action. Does that mean you get to get in on a lot of stunts and killing a lot of people in horror makeup, I assume?
I mean, kind of.
Janet is the female Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
I got
She's
to
a
read
badass.
Oh boy, it was very fun. It was very, very fun. Yeah, there was some fun stuff, and every time our stunt coordinator Bob, who was just an amazing teacher and very empowering and very like, listen, we're going to take this at whatever pace you want. And I, because I don't have a background doing stunts, am stupid and enthusiastic enough that I would just be like, let's just do it. Let's just do it. I don't even know how to do it. Let's just do it. But it was very cool because they created an amazing environment, and it was just, it was really exciting.
Favorite stunt?
Favorite stunt, I mean, the things that were done to me were less fun. I really liked putting the pedal to the metal in an old truck and just tearing ass out of where I was.
Oh, and you got
Yeah,
to
I felt
drive
like a
your own
stunt. I
car.
felt like a stunt driver. Yeah,
You chopping someone's head off was pretty good when you
Yeah.
took
it
that.
was really
That
fun.
was pretty good.
I bet I know
never
what her
forget your
least
first
favorite stunt
decapitation.
was.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hang on, it's my shield phone. Yes?
Oh, it's Shield.
Oh, you need us to bring that to you, Captain?
What was your least favorite stunt, Janet?
Getting vomited on by a monster for a minute,
Oh, like
which is a long time if you think about it.
Yeah, a minute sounds like it goes by like that, but when vomit's coming at you, probably not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not so
Not
much.
to pull back the curtain too far, but I'm curious what the vomit was made out of.
We had these
That's a
big.
great question.
we
I
had
should
these-
have asked that.
Yeah. We had these big buckets that just said goo.
Really?
Yeah, it's dark. It was like a dark purple color, and we had this really great practical special effects guy. 99% of the effects are practical, and the special effect guy. I've been in the business forever, and he goes, "Yeah, we just gonna put it in an air cannon, and just gonna shoot it at her. It'll be fine. It'll be fine."
Oh, that sounds rough.
And then, but these guys, you talk to them, and they've been in every. Yeah, I put about a gallon of goo on Bill Murray in Ghostbusters. He didn't like that much.
Well, you know, at least you were in good goo hands.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we were
It's
in
a
good-
goo legacy.
Yeah, that was my old pickup line. You'll be in very good goo hands.
There were
Where you
little,
going?
there were little chunks that I think somebody added that were minced turducken.
Yeah.
Just when we did it, America wins again. Oh,
Thank you, America.
Still the best at combining meats.
That's right.
so you guys
That's
are
right.
here at Comic-Con promoting the show. What
Yeah.
is it about your show that you think appeals to the Comic-Con goer, appeals to this kind of core audience?
Oh, I mean,
Well, it's
everything
scary
about
as
it.
shit and it's
Yeah.
funny.
It's
Yeah.
That
And-
sounds good.
It's an
And
easy comic.
I feel like there's a lot of layers, like people who love The Simpsons, as well as all the other stuff we're talking about. Those moments that stick in your head forever, that are so small and to the side of what the regular action is. That's the stuff that like true fans really bite down on. That's the stuff
Yeah.
I get really excited about. It's the stuff that gets quoted on just in environments like this. And I think there's also something that's, because it takes itself super seriously on some level, but there's also a wink to it. There's that meta feeling that a lot of Comic-Con fans get. They feel they're a part of it. They feel like
Yeah.
they're on board, and the references make sense to them, but they're also diving into the depth of the story.
Yeah, and I will just say, my favorite television series was always The Twilight Zone, and the way I approached this show was the way that Rod Serling. Not that I'm comparing myself to Rod Serling, but
No, put it out there. It's out there
because
now.
I am taller. Believe it or not, I'm actually taller than someone. But
Not me.
My show. The show doesn't assume you're an idiot. The show assumes that you're smart, and
Yes.
it counts on you
Well
being
said.
smart. And it respects your intelligence. And if you like Walking Dead, Ash versus Evil Dead, Star Trek, Twilight Zone, you'll
Buffy the Vampire
Buffy the
Slayer.
Mystery Science Theater, this show's for you.
Yeah.
So speaking of Buffy, do you guys have kind of like a monster of the week, or is it more of like a long, overarching kind of thing?
Both.
They have both. We have
It's
both.
There's an over
Big Bad.
Yeah, we have a big bad, and there's an arc, and then we have Monsters of the Week.
Oh, I can't wait to watch it. So when can people check out the show? Where can they watch it?
It has a sneak preview on Halloween night on IFC,
Nice.
but you're going to be out, so you can watch it on its regular slot
it, too.
Wednesday, November 2nd at 10 p.m. We start
And where
shooting.
can people find you guys online in terms of social media and stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm just at Janet Varney.
At John C. McKinley.
And at Dana Gould.
Wow, you guys got in there and got those
Yeah.
quick.
You don't
Yeah.
want to. You're sad that it's not like
And
turducken
I'm,
1, 2, 3.
Oh,
And
right.
I'm Ham Master on FetLife.
I think that we've actually made this into like a new thing. It's like Pee Wee's Playhouse, and if you say the special
Oh,
word,
yeah.
everybody
Right.
has
Love
to scream.
Absolutely.
Turducken. Feels right. Oh, you guys,
Feels
You guys,
really
thank
right.
you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks
Everyone,
for
check
having
out the
us.
show, and we're going to be back with writer Jim Zub on the other side of this break. So keep watching Marvel Live here at New York Comic Con 2016.
stick around.
America.